Hello. I just want to do this little video today just to share a little bit more about Qigong and how I found Qigong, how it actually came into my life. I stumbled upon Qigong about 10 years ago now. Not actually, more like 11 years ago. Um, uh, Due to a health crisis actually that I was having at the time. So I was in my 30s, actually I was 30 to be exact, and I had had a lot of different health complications going on for a while. So I had had almost like a twisted gut type of thing in my left side, and that had been going on for over a year. And I've been going and getting lots of different tests, and I thought it might be irritable bowel. I tried all these different diets. I tried juice cleanses, you name it, and nothing was really working. And in the end, you start to think of the worst, and it was actually very painful as well. So it was basically like a twisted muscle in the left side of my left side, and so this went on for over a year, and then I started to have palpitations and chest pains and just breathing problems. I felt like my breathing was just very shallow, and sometimes I'd get these pains in my chest and I'd be like, oh, what's that all about? And actually, to pinpoint it, at the time I was living in the town area, and where I was living there was actually a big mast kind of near the estate that I was living in, and that's when my sleep started to become affected, and I started to get these pains, but it wasn't only due to that. The other big thing that was going on in my life at the time as well was stress. I had had a huge amount of stress and trauma in my life, and it had been ongoing for a number of years. So I guess my immune system was compromised, and my electromagnetic field wasn't very strong, so I was probably more susceptible to this EMF frequency affecting me at the time. So basically, my health problems were getting worse. Like I said, I was going through a lot of stress and traumatic stuff as well that was going on for like a long number of years in my life, from a lot of grief that had happened a few years previous. And then I became a single mother at the age of 18, and four kind of close people died in and around that time as well, from my younger brother, my uncle, my first cousin, and my grandpa. And so that all happened around the same time that I found myself as a single parent, aged 19. And then there was I was trying to put myself through college, so I was traveling 150 kilometers round trip every single day to Waterford and back to study graphic design. And just there was a lot of family stress going on at the time as well, and so it did, of course, inevitably it's going to start to take its toll. And so I was getting these chest pains and twinges, and one day in particular I found that I actually thought I was having a heart attack. Every breath that I took in was painful, to the point where I could only take very shallow breaths. And I was worried, so I went into the hospital and went into A&E, and they did a few tests. I think they took a few blood tests and stuff like that, and they let me go. And but I still had this pain, And then a couple of hours later, they called me back and they asked me to come back in, that they wanted to do some more tests. And so, my first reaction was, oh shit, like, what have they found, So I went back in, and I was really quite scared at this point. So, yeah, got back into the hospital and they did chest x-rays, and then they tried to take blood. Oh my God, I'll never forget it. They tried to take blood from my wrist area, because that's leads to the arteries in your heart. And like, I've got quite a strong threshold to pain, but I remember actually sobbing, and the doctor tried to do it about 4 times and he just couldn't get the blood out of there. And so they had x-ray results back, and they had found that there was like a slight shadow on my lung area. And of course, you start to think, shit, like, what is that? Is that cancer? Is it a tumor? What is going on? So yeah, I was scared, and they put me on warfarin, which is like a blood thinner, that night. And I remember going down to the ward. I'll never forget it, actually. And I was surrounded by old men, mainly. I mean, you think of heart disease or heart problems as elderly people, right? But here I was, a young woman, aged 30, in a ward full of old men. And I remember just thinking that night, like, what is actually going on? And I was scared. I was genuinely scared. I mean, at this stage, I was thinking, have I got lung cancer? Have I got, what's going on? So over the course of a few days then that I was in the hospital, they ran more tests. Remember, I had to put all this iodine into my mouth, and basically to see, I think, if I had a clot. And after 4 days, they released me and they said, no, you haven't got a clot, which was great news, because my friend, who's actually a traditional Chinese medicine acupuncturist, and he later told me, he was like, oh my God, thank God they told you that you didn't have a clot, because you can't really cure a clot. But I was released with no real diagnosis, and I was like, right. But those 4 days in the hospital were a wake-up call for me, and I knew deep down that all what I was going through was stress and trauma, a symptom of stress and trauma. Of course, you can't have that amount of stress going on in your life without it having some sort of effect on your health, and I knew that. So, and I had also started to become really interested down through the years, really, but particularly kind of just before that, about mind-body healing. And so while I was in the hospital, I said to myself, this is stress, this is the result of stress, and I'm going to heal myself. And I am determined when I get out of here to find a way to heal myself. So they released me from the hospital, like I said, with still no diagnosis, but for me it was a wake-up call. And so I got home, and I forget exactly what I googled, but I looked up something to do with breathing visualization for the lungs, something like that, because I had started to go on to this website called the Institute of Heart Math, and they had like a lot of free meditations for the heart, and they spoke a lot about heart resonance. So I think I was looking for something like that, but I googled breathing visualization meditation for the lungs, and I stumbled upon a qigong meditation, and this is no word of a lie. I did that meditation, and I'll never forget it. I was still in pain at this point, and within a couple of minutes, the pain had gone. I started to do this qigong breathe-in visualization meditation. Within a few minutes, the pain had gone. And so I was like, wow. And I went on to this, the meditation had come from this website called Spring Forest Qigong. And so I started to learn everything there was about Qigong, and I mean, it was proven. It had gotten rid of my pain, so I knew, I was like, this is something that I have to learn everything I can about. So I did. That was 11 years ago, and I've literally pretty much practiced every single day, even if it's like a couple of minutes at night time while I'm going to sleep. Everything I've learned online so far. I have started to go to a training workshop last year, and I am actually going to get my instructor's certification this year. But I healed myself, so that's proof enough that it works. And so I just wanted to share that with you. So just to empower people that, like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And Qigong, basically what it is it works with your body as an energetic system. And like, energy is everywhere. Like, the whole world is made up of energy, and our bodies are all made up of energy. And when the energy is flowing well, we're in good health. And when the energy gets stuck, that's the start of sickness or disease. Or when the energy stops completely, then we're no longer alive. So the idea, or the theory, I suppose, behind Qigong is that you keep your energy flowing well. It also helps to move stuck energy. Like I said before, Qi is energy and Gong is activation. So with the movements and with the breath work and with the visualization, and sometimes you include sound into that as well, then you help to move stuck energy from wherever it might be stuck in your body. And you also create more energy by harnessing Qi outside of yourself, because everything is energy. Everything, the air that we breathe, the trees, the animal, everything in this universe is energy. Like, energy is all there is. We can't exist without it. And so, I mean, it's very simple in one way, but it's also a lifelong of learning as well, because there's so much to it, and there's so much more to learn, and I'm going to be learning for the rest of my life. But I just wanted to share it with you all because it's so effective. And like, you can practice Qigong sitting down, lying down, or standing up. You can practice for as little as, like I said, 1 or 2 minutes a day. Even just when you're going to sleep, you can do a little breathing into your stomach area, your lower dantian, and you can just focus on that area and breathe into it and invite healing while you're sleeping. And you can imagine all your cells covered in light, healing happening even while you're sleeping as well. So Qigong as well is just about knowing how your body works. And we have this system in our body called the meridian system, or like in yoga they would call it the chakra system. But basically, these meridians run from the top of your head down the back of your body and the front of your body, and down to your fingertips and all the way down to your feet. And there's basically 14 meridian channels in your body. And these meridian channels carry energy throughout your body, and there's little points all around your body that activate the Qi in your body. And all these points are directly correlated or linked to your meridian system. Well, they're along all your meridian channels, and they're also your meridians. I just got a little bit distracted there. But your meridians are directly linked to the 5 organs in your body. So that being your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, and your spleen. And so just by knowing and understanding that, even, I mean, that once the energy comes stuck in our body, we know that it's a blockage in one of those meridians. And we'll know where the energy is stuck because we'll either have pain or different symptoms. But without going too much into that anyway, basically, like, your meridians are linked to your 5 organs. And so when you understand where the meridians are located in your body, where your organs are located and what functions they have, and then you can go deeper into that again, like the organs actually have sounds associated to them, and they also have emotions associated to them. So like, for example, your lungs are associated with grief, your liver is associated with anger, your heart is associated with, well, hatred. I mean, these are the lower vibrations of those organs, but they also obviously can be completely reversed as well by having a healthy functioning organ. So yeah, I don't want to go too much into it and give you too much information, but I just wanted to share my story, and I wanted to share that, like, this is the power that we all have. You don't have to be some qigong master living in the mountains in Wudang to heal yourself. Anybody can do it, and that's why these qigong masters have so generously started to come over and teach this to the West, and it's starting to spread now. And you know, like I said, it actually just is very common sense stuff. It makes perfect sense. But it's just understanding the body is an energetic system, and everything around us is energy. And now more than ever, I think we need to take care of our energy, because, you know, our electromagnetic frequency will determine our health. And if it's weak, like I was saying before, when I lived near that mast, my electromagnetic frequency was very weak anyway because of all the stress that I was going through and trauma. And that was probably when my PTSD really started to kick in, and I'm going to actually be talking a lot more about my challenges with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress as well, but that's for another video down the line. But basically, yeah, my frequency was weak at the time, so now is the time more than ever to strengthen our frequency, to take care of our energetic frequency, and to take care of ourselves as energetic beings. And so I just want to share what I know with you all, and hopefully you will share it with other people as well. Did I want to say anything more? Not for now. I just want to say, be well, everybody. Don't buy into the fear. I mean, you can either focus on the fear or on wellness. So where are you putting your energy? Think about that as well, because now is more important than ever to become aware of what you're focusing on, because our thoughts and our mind is so powerful and so strong beyond what we can ever even comprehend. Our thoughts actually really do create our reality. And so you can either focus on fear or you can focus on being well. And for me, I know what I'd rather focus on. And of course, it's normal sometimes to feel a little bit afraid. You know, with this virus going around and the 5G stuff and all of that, you know, I've had my days, I've had my challenges as well. But for the most part, I just know that I'm in control of my health, I'm in control of my energy, and I know that I've healed myself before, and you know, I've had other health crises since then, and I've been able to heal myself. And I know that if I hadn't have found Qigong, I would have been one sick lady. To be honest, I don't think I would have been here. That's no word of a lie. I don't think I actually would still be on this planet if I hadn't have found Qigong. So I'm so grateful for finding it, but I also want to share it with everybody else. So yeah, that's as much as I want to share today. And I'm going to share some more like Qigong tutorials with you. Like I said, it doesn't have to be for long a day. Like, I just find small little pockets of time. Well, now I love it so much that like I practice all the time. And I practice, like I said, every day, even if it's for as little as a few minutes a day. But because I love it so much and it makes me feel so good, most of the time my practice is about 20 to 30 minutes a day. But like I said, it doesn't have to be, and you can just start with little amounts. So that's what I wanted to share today. And yeah, just be well, everybody, and focus on being well, because the power is in our hands. Our health is in our hands, and don't buy into the fear. So see you on the next video, and thank you for watching my video and coming onto my channel, and hopefully you will share it with people that you know as well, who you think might benefit from it. So see you all next time.